guys, in this video we're going to be talking about density. How many grafts per square centimeter do you need to achieve density? One of the most common questions we get on our forum, and I actually asked this question to two world-renowned doctors, which is Dr. Bazanga of Belgium and Dr. Conir in Chicago. And I'm going to go ahead and share their answers with you next. But just in case you guys haven't checked out our forum, I'm going to go ahead and include it in the description box. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's free to register. There's tons of reviews. You can ask questions, and really it's just a good community to belong to. All right, now let's get started.
Exactly. Yeah. People, they get hung up on the numbers. How many per square centimeter do you transplant? They want 80, they want 100. It's like, but your donor
if I put 100 single hair in a square centimeter, and then I put 35 3 hairs in a square centimeter, I'll have more hair with the 35 than with 100. So what gives a result is not the density, but it's the type of hair that you put in a certain area in order to achieve fullness.
Yeah. And strategically planning how you placing and angling the grafts to get that, like you said, that visual density. It's super important. People don't realize that, one of the problems with transplanting the crowns, right, is the angles that the hairs are placed. It makes it so that the scalp is visible, right, because it's laying flat against the skin. It's in a clockwise pattern. So that's why it requires more density there than, let's say, the hairline, which you can angle it better.
And then the contrast between the skin tone and your hair color. If you have very darker hair and a fair skin, the contrast may be playing against you. Yeah. If you have gray hair and fair skin, you may need a little bit of hair and have a nice looking result. So there are a lot of things that goes into what to make a good result. It's not just how many grafts you put per square centimeter. It's the type of hair, the type of skin. Some of the patients, they will say, yeah, but I don't feel like my transplant is good enough. But when you measure density, they're 40. But it's just that discrepancy between the hair, the skin tone, and the hair color. Maybe they can do SMP to camouflage and minimizing that contrast.
There's a question that comes up all the time, and I wanted you guys to actually touch on this. Dr. Bazanga, had a great response last week. Is how many grafts per square centimeter do I need for density? I mean, I get this question so much. They say, is it 45 grafts per square centimeter? Is it 50? Should I go for 70? They're always asking this question. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
Well, it depends on the caliber of the hair. So if you've got, real fine hair, you're going to need more grafts. But it also depends on what their goal, what's dense to them, what's their definition of dense, what's going to make them, happy. That varies from person to person. So you can't give a number necessarily. But in general, I think you understand this too. Thicker hair follicles, you're going to need less per square centimeter.
Let me get into this too, because when you ask this, what I would say is a fairly simplistic question without all of the details, just like Dr. Nadimi says.
Yeah.
What is the texture of the hair? And to me, one of the most important things to talk about that nobody really talks about is caliber. Because if you look at somebody who has extremely fine hair, or if you look at your beard hair and you compare one of your beard hairs to maybe one of your scalp hairs down in the nape region, if you look at and you simply double the diameter of a hair. I was born with extremely fine hair. It's the weakest hair on the planet. It's horrible. But then you see patients who have what I call horse mane hair. If you double the diameter, you quadruple the volume. So think about that. If I'm doing 50 grafts per square centimeter on 2 guys, one guy's got my hair caliber, The other guy's got a caliber that's twice of mine in terms of diameter. That guy by volume, we don't see hair numbers, by volume is going to look like he has 4 times more hair than I do. So again, when you're looking at photos, oh, I had 50 grafts per square centimeter, this guy had 30 grafts per square centimeter, he looks so much better. If his caliber happens to be double, you know, that's probably going to be equivalent to closer to over 100 grafts for the other fellow. So, you know, again, if you factor all of these other things in, you're able to provide a more meaningful answer to the question.
Yeah, and it's also goes, you know, the numbers of hairs too, right? Like you could have 50 grafts and they're all singles, and somebody has 50 grafts of threes. You know, that's triple the amount of hair too.
Well, absolutely. And again, you get into other factors, because if you're laying in 50 grafts per square centimeter, 40 grafts per square centimeter, you know, how are you placing those? How are you angling those? Are you putting them perpendicular? Are you shingling them down? You know, when it's all said and done, to me, what's thinning? Thinning is seeing skin. If I don't see skin, I don't know somebody's thinning. So what I try to figure in my mind, what I'm doing in terms of graft densities, angling of hair, transitions, is how do I best hide skin? What do I do to hide skin? And the same thing, somebody could put in 20 grafts per square centimeter at a more acute angle to the scalp, and same patient by another surgeon, 30 grafts per square centimeter, more perpendicular, you might have more see-through effect. So again, you know, there's a lot of variables that come into play when you look at different patients.
All right, well, there you guys have it. Don't get too caught up in the number. Don't get caught up in thinking this doctor is better because he's saying he's going to do 60 grafts per square centimeter as opposed to this doctor that's saying he'll do 30. It all depends on your hair thickness, your donor density, and how the grafts are actually angled. Well, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys found the video informative, and if you did, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would go ahead and hit the like button. It helps the video get into the YouTube algorithm and helps the channel grow. And if you guys aren't subscribed and you like the content that I put out, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would go ahead and subscribe. You don't have to watch every video, but seeing the channel grow helps me and makes me more motivated to make more videos. And lastly, if you think anyone would benefit from the information in this video, feel free to share it with them. All right, until next time.